Hello. I'm late. Sorry about that. But, I mean, what else is new, right? Hey, Val. How's it going? Hope you're doing good. So, I wasn't going to make a habit of playing horror games on a Saturday afternoon. I don't know, that just feels wrong to me, but I did it last weekend because it was Halloween weekend. And this is a good game, so I want to finish it. I should do a little recap, but that might be difficult because everything that has happened has been extremely vague. So this game, I guess, we'll go ahead and get in the menu here, which may help refresh my memory. Hey, Silver, how's it going? I know you've got big charity you're participating in, which I'm just going to shout out that instead of you, since that's where you're going to be anyway. And I will probably make my way over there after I'm done streaming. But anyways, thanks for stopping by. Good to see you. You had a very successful charity last night. That was lots of fun. So, Stories Untold. This is divided up into 4 little stories. House Abandon, which, first of all, I don't have a little content warning command set up, but this is a horror game. A lot of heavy topics. Murder, possible, like, end of the world type stuff. There was one chapter with just some really intense flashing lights that was honestly kind of awful, even if you don't have issues with that. It's all you guys, but thank you. So the House Abandon is this interesting setup where you are sitting in a room with a CRT in the corner, and you are playing a text adventure game on this old video game console. And it starts out, you're visiting an old family home that you haven't been to in a long time, and it seems like no one has been there in a long time, and it suspiciously seems like perhaps these people are no longer living. Your family is no longer living, and eventually you find a room with a computer, and you sit down and you start playing just like the game started. So it kind of starts another loop, except everything is a lot creepier this time. And I don't think it was ever made entirely clear, but it kind of starts to seem like possibly you murdered your family. And then eventually you get to your room with the computer and you are already sitting there. And I can't remember exactly how it ends, but it's a little bit of an abrupt and unclear ending. When I murder my family, yes. So then we switch over to what seems like a completely different story, the lab conduct, in which you are performing experiments on
an object
that was recovered from, I guess, some sort of spacecraft crash.
Also, hello, I'm here too.
Sounds good, Silver. Thanks for stopping by, and hope everything goes great with the charity. I'm sure I will see you later. So you're doing all these experiments. It's made very clear that you have to follow them exactly, or bad things could happen. And then things kind of increasingly get weirder and weirder, and it starts to become clear that this is some sort of alien entity that you're doing experiments on, and eventually, well, it kind of becomes attached to your eye, and like basically you end up following its instructions, and you help all these alien entities escape from this lab. And then episode 3, the station process.
My favorite one.
Yes, mine too. You are once again in a small room. These basically all take place in a small room. This time you have a CRT, a little radio you can tune to different frequencies, and a microfiche. And this time we have a couple of different people to chat with over the radio, and get instructions on the TV, and then you need to tune to a particular station on the radio, and each frequency is like a different number station kind of thing, and you enter the numbers in the computer, and then that's right, isn't it?
Yeah, there's a
Yeah, and then the
console.
computer gives you further instructions, and then you go over to the microfiche, which has like it's a pretty nicely accurate experience. It actually took us long, like in a way we were kind of struggling with not understanding the video game controls, but it also felt like a kind of cool approximation of not fully understanding how to use a microfiche machine.
I, a smart person, briefly assumed that the game designers wanted it to be unreadable to make it harder. But no, we just weren't clicking on the right thing to make it readable.
Yes, the station process is the one that takes place in a tundra. Like, you can see outside the window, you're in this like kind of Arctic area, like there's just snow everywhere. So then you look up information on the microfiche and come back and enter further commands into the computer, and it's this long back and forth, and every time you successfully, like, you're kind of writing a little program almost, and every time you enter a sequence successfully, something happens on the computer, and it sure kind of seems like you're maybe starting off a nuclear apocalypse.
We were definitely firing missiles.
And then we get dragged out of the room we're in by something. We don't ever really see what dragged us out.
Also, before we were dragged out, our colleagues at other stations were like,
Yes.
don't go outside, absolutely don't go outside, and then suddenly one was like, you have to go outside.
Right.
I need you to go outside for me, it's very important. And then we were dragged outside.
Yeah. It sure seemed like these alien entities were maybe taking over our colleagues or something, and like controlling their bodies. So anyways, then in a complete departure from the rest of the game, where you can actually start walking around outside, we had to go
Start up some generators?
start up a couple of generators to get machine going. Communication tower, I think, was what we were trying to get running again. And then we were just kind of making our way back towards the room we came from. It was kind of unclear what to do at that point. There was some amount of chatter we could hear over the radio. And then we started seeing these large
big thing.
things.
They reminded me of like the War of the Worlds.
Yeah,
Giant
they were
tripod things.
very War of the Worlds tripod vibes. And then eventually we come across like all these rooms we're in are like shipping crate rooms set up, and eventually we come across one, and we open it up, and it's the room from the House Abandoned, and there's a computer there, just like that room we played the text adventure on. And that was the end. So now we are on episode 4, the last session, and I'm very excited to see where this goes. Just realized I'm not hearing audio.
I'm not sure if there is audio at this point.
Okay, there is audio coming through, so I think it must just be very quiet. Like I can see a little bit of a signal, so I think it's okay. It's just there's not much to hear.
I was hearing like menu music before.
So, episode 4, the last session. A patient undergoes hypnotic regression therapy to uncover the truth behind his incarceration in the facility.
Cool. I'm not getting audio, are you?
Yeah, I'm not either.
Is stream getting audio?
Oh, I see why you're not getting audio.
Oh, did you deselect my...
It's just on AirPods.
Okay.
But why am I not getting audio?
I think that's enough of that for now.
Oh, no.
No. Are you getting audio now? Because you need it more than I do.
Yeah, I am not.
Fun show, aren't you?
You're not?
I'm not.
Why don't you unmute the TV then? Because there's audio coming
I'm
from
going
the
to
TV.
pause for a second.
Okay.
Sorry about this.
Oh no.
Actually, I don't...
Oh no. Look at these options.
Oh! Great!
The TV's muted now.
Yeah, I know. That was intentional.
Okay.
I want to figure out what's... Oh, I guess the problem is if the TV's muted, I can't...
I'm getting menu sounds. Are you?
This is incredibly frustrating.
If it helps to take my headphones out of the equation, that's fine.
It unfortunately does not.
Okay.
I don't understand what
I
the
do have to
problem
disappear
is.
at some point anyway.
This might take a few minutes. Clearly, we're not actually using that software.
Sometimes you do things, sometimes those things are wrong, is somehow very accurate and very creepy. Hey, Jedmond.
Hey, thanks for stopping by. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well.
Welcome. Welcome to troubleshooting.
Hey, we had problems during Holly's stream the other day, and
I think the only conclusion to come to is that your AirPods are cursed.
yeah, like I think that's kind of ultimately the problem. But the real question is, can we uncurse them? And I do not know the answer. And I didn't do very much. I kind of just clicked around on stuff, but it worked.
Cool.
Okay, now it's too loud. I could sell them on eBay at a premium. Cursed AirPods.
Do people buy cursed AirPods?
I mean,
I feel like eBay cracked down on the sale of haunted items at some point.
yeah, like you can't suggest they're actually haunted,
Right.
I think is the actual
Before you proceed, should I just unplug my headphones? Because I'm not getting audio.
Oh, I'm pretty sure I can fix that now without
Okay.
breaking anything further.
When I unplug my headphones later to leave, is that going to break anything?
No, I don't.
I'm good now.
Oh my god, really?
Oh, what? You're not getting...
I didn't think that would...
You're not getting audio now?
No,
Oh my god.
I really didn't think that would do anything.
I'm just going to unplug my headphones. Don't worry about my headphones.
The problem is switching it back doesn't help. Like,
Sure.
I don't... This is
But I
so
mean,
weird.
Once you refix it, just don't worry about switching back to the audio that I can also hear.
For sure. It's just we've never had this particular problem before.
Are these the same AirPods you've been using
I
the whole
kind of
time?
feel like, yeah, if I go in system preferences and adjust the volume there, it fixes it. But like, apparently as soon as I do anything else with the audio, it's screwed up again. I feel like probably a computer restart would help, but that would end the stream. So we're not going to do that unless things get real bad. Let me just... Oh.
What now?
Okay, so what's actually happening is the audio only works while I have the system preferences open.
What? Oh, God.
I love computers so much. The next question is, can I just leave system preferences open and it'll keep working? The answer is maybe yes.
Oh,
so we're just going to try that.
All right.
I do enjoy the theme of... the game is haunted, and so is the actual stream.
Well, okay, I was gonna make a suggestion that maybe doesn't actually work because you don't have wired headphones handy. You could plug wired headphones directly into the game controller and get game audio that way.
That is a good point. If things get weird, I will try that.
Okay.
And that should work. But I think this will be okay. Okay. I got clicks here now. That's good. So this is a very normal pause menu. It's great. I love it.
Completely normal.
Give up, a coward. I wish I could remember what these menu options were before. Obviously, this is vibration.
Subtitles.
This is subtitles. And then...
Yeah.
I don't remember what was here before. Just continue, I guess.
Okay, come on. Let's get you down to the observation room.
The number puzzles book on the table.
This place must be starting to feel like home to you.
Almost time for me to disappear, apparently.
Don't worry.
Okay.
Try and get you out of here eventually. Just in here. Okay, are we through in the next room? Just relax and we'll get started in a moment.
That's the same voice from the lab one.
Is it?
The one that gave you instructions.
Right.
Right, Mr. Asian, now are you ready?
Ah.
Just hit record on the tape deck in front of you when you're ready.
So Mr. Asian is who we were playing in the second episode.
And I think also that name came up
Yes.
at the end of the station process.
Right.
This is subject 12-19-86-23, new session entry. We have myself, Dr. Alexander, leading, and in a room we have our patient, Mr. James Asian. As we know, James has recently recovered from a 2-week coma following his accident. In our last 3 sessions, James's attempts to recollect events of the accident seen him merging his memory with his imagination. These episodes have always ended in panic, and we've had to terminate the session abruptly. Let's try and do this one better, James. So when you're ready, let's bring this back. I know how difficult this must be, but you can do this. James, it's time to remember. Your mind is like a conscious black box. It can show you your memories.
There might be flashing incoming.
Yeah, I mentioned that.
Okay.
I definitely would not be surprised if that is going to happen again. And it was pretty bad in the second episode,
Yeah.
so
A lot of the reviews mentioned that as a particular problem with this game that was not called out appropriately
Right.
in the health warning at the beginning.
remote weather station. You were isolated from the rest of the world, locked inside your coma. We interacted with you daily, encouraging you to wake. Your family would do number puzzles with you. Anything, really, to bring you back. People needed answers, James. Do you remember?
I have another signal here for you, James. It's at 5610 FM. You can't miss it.
Oh dang, you get to do more.
Yeah. Oh, gotta turn it on.
I should probably
1986.
get ready for my my thing before I get too sucked into this.
Yes.
Bye, everybody, be good.
Bye on Secret Crush. So, since I don't have her to help me this time, I have my handy little gamer's notebook to write things down in.
23.
You know how the audio mix is. I'm gonna turn down the game just a little bit.
Gotta see this.
12, 19,
This is 20F. 12, 19, 86, 23, 04. Type in the numbers, James.
Oh, right. We need to type them in.
This is 20F. 12, 19, 86, 23, 04.
1986 keeps coming up a lot.
Type in the numbers, James. You gotta see this.
I think this is
This is 20F.
the patient
Well,
number they just gave.
86, 23, 04. Type in the numbers, James.
Code word reference report.
This is 20F. 12, 19, 86, 23, 04.
Haha.
Type in the numbers, James.
Okay.
You gotta see this.
The first time
This is 20F. 12,
we were
19,
playing The House Abandoned,
23, 04.
like on that first loop through, it kind of seemed like there were some suggestions.
20F.
Like there were, I think we found a bunch of photos of
86.
just like an empty road out in the woods somewhere. And it was extremely vague, but along with the suggestion that this house had been empty for a long time
20F.
and sounded like every reference to his family members was clearly talking about someone in the past.
Type in
I thought maybe they all died in an accident.
This is 20F.
So this microfiche now says Wilson Police Department Road Traffic Accident Report.
23, 04.
And then on the second loop through of The House Abandoned, there was like this new element of what I interpreted it as guilt, which is why I thought maybe he murdered them. But now I'm wondering if maybe he just feels responsible for the accident.
Gotta see this. This is 20F. 12, 19, 86, 23.
Remember how this machine works?
Type in the numbers, James. Gotta see this. This is 20F. 12, 19, 86, 23, 04. Type in the
And
numbers,
Secret Crush forgot her pencil.
gotta see
What if I need to erase something?
Important gaming pencil.
12,
Oh, jeez. Okay.
'You'll have to watch the
I
VOD.
know.
Good luck with that worm. Holly on Secret Crush is playing a game of Werewolf with some friends online, and I think it's been 2 weeks since she last played now, and like last time she ended having bitten a large worm, so I'm very curious how that will all go. Okay, so we have report of track accident, number of vehicles 2, date, time of the accident is 1986, March 20th.
This is 20F 12 19 86 23.
Trying to get the hang of the controls here. Yeah, focus is bad.
12 19 86
Accident type 20F fatal accident. Looks like driver James Asian. City Wilson. Vehicle station wagon white.
86 23. Type in the numbers, James.
And the driver of the other vehicle was Charles Hennigs.
This is 20F
Blue sedan.
19 86 23.
Arrived on scene to discover 2 cars that had been involved in a near head-on collision. Mr. Asian found lying down outside his vehicle with head injuries. An ambulance was immediately called. His passenger was trapped in the vehicle in critical condition from wounds sustained in the collision. The driver of the blue sedan, Mr. Hennings, was found dead on arrival. It was noticed that there was a strong smell of whiskey from the driver and an empty whiskey bottle on the passenger seat. Mr. Asian was questioned on scene. He described an oncoming blue sedan being clearly out of control, which he swerved to avoid. Mr. Asian's passenger was his sister. The driver of the blue sedan is an ex-police officer of 20 years.
Type in the numbers, James. This is 20F 12 19 86 23 04. Type in the numbers, James. This is 20F 12 19 86 23.
Not sure if there's anything else here. Seems like that's it.
Type in the numbers, James. This is 20F 12 19 86 23 04. Type in the numbers, James. Gotta see this. This is 20F 12 19
Okay.
86 23.
So there were a bunch of things with asterisks around them.
Type in the numbers, James. Gotta see this. This is 20F 12 19 86.
And it seems like that's probably what we need to enter.
Type in the numbers, James. Gotta see this. This is 20F 12 19 86 23.
This interface is
Type in the numbers, James.
very tricky to use.
Gotta see this. This is
Okay.
12 19 86 23 04. Type in the numbers, James. Gotta see this.
So we have
This is 20
empty whiskey and out of control in asterisks.
86 23
Fatal accident is circled up here.
Type in the numbers, James. Gotta see this. This is 20F 23.
Fatal accident.
Type in the numbers, James. You gotta see this.
Empty whiskey.
This is 20F. 12. 19. 86. 23.
Out of control.
4. Type in the numbers, James. You gotta see this. This
No.
is 20F. 12. 19.
That was not correct.
86. 23. 04. Type in the numbers, James.
Did I miss?
You gotta see this.
What am I missing?
This is 20F. 12. 19. 86. 23. 04. Type in the numbers, James. You gotta see this. This is 20F. 12.
Hey Delta, good to see you. Hope you're doing well.
86. 23.
Here it is afternoon.
Type in the numbers, James. You gotta see this. This is 20F. 12.
So,
86. 23. 04. Type in the numbers, James. You gotta see this. This is 20F. 12.
I'm not sure what to enter here. This is tricky.
86, 23, 04. Type in the numbers, James. You gotta see this. This is 20F. 12. 19.
Let's look at. Oh, that's
86,
not the map.
23.
Let's look at our options here. So we can enter.
Type in the numbers, James. You gotta see this.
When we did this in the previous episode, it was more obvious what to do.
12.
So we had pretty specific instructions.
23, 04. Type in the
This
numbers,
time,
James. You gotta see this. This is 20F.
we have a bunch of phrases that are clearly all from the police report. We could also enter numbers, but
4.
oh, there was.
Type in the numbers, James. You gotta see this. This is
20F fatal accident is actually
19.
the whole thing that's circled. Maybe that's where we went wrong. There is an F key. Okay.
Type in the numbers, James. You gotta
So I think that's what I screwed up.
This is 20F. 12. 19. 86. 23. 04. Type in the numbers, James. You gotta see this. This is 20F.
There we go.
Find the signal, James. Listen to the voices. You have to face it, James. Finally.
Okay.
It's not like him at all. I've worked with Officer Hennings for 6 years and not once have we even talked about alcohol. Drunk driving. He was a father, a husband. He was fine. No way he caused this. It's him, this Haitian guy. He's got something to hide.
Okay. Now I wish I could go back and look at that police report. I just kind of assumed that it was us, Mr. Asian, that had the bottle of whiskey in the car. But it sounds like, according to the report, it was actually the cop, Mr. Hennig, that had the whiskey. And the report did describe Henning's vehicle as being out of control, but that was according to Mr. Asian. Yeah, I realize now that it was not super clear. Where are we? What is that? Just a board? This doesn't make sense to you. I can't tell what this is in the corner. Some sort of metal object. That one doesn't open. You step out into the hospital ward, only it seems abandoned. Your vision is blurry. Okay, this is where we were just doing the interview. Driving home, don't have that fifth pint. First steps to recovery. You tense up. Someone else is here. So that was the sound we heard, this lamp getting knocked over. Third floor, stairwell exit, observation room, reception, surgery, home care, coma ward. Interesting. You grab the keys from the table. They weigh heavy in your hand. Sort of like too blurry to read. They're all locked. Cassette tape here.
Today was the first session with Mr. James Asian, although I fear it will certainly not be his last. When asked about events that have happened in the past, he confused fact and fiction and told us a story about a computer game that was talking to him. I think he was back at his own house, his mum and dad's house, and he always talked about a room with a red X. One couldn't get in. I don't know what any of this means or what it's got to do with the accident, but I guess some more sessions will maybe reveal that. We're going to try again tomorrow.
So in the house abandoned, there was a utility closet that had a red X. And I think after the stream last week, I was talking to Unsecret Crush about that, how like it seemed like we would eventually get in there, but we never did. Okay. You spent most waking moments in here. Oh, okay, so this is Futuro. I was trying to remember where that word was familiar from. The computer we played the game on, the House Abandoned, was a Futuro computer. So this seems to be a computer magazine which is talking about the game. And then Number Puzzles is clearly a reference to the third episode. I wish I could zoom in on this one. Fly Safe Magazine. Something Greenland. And then there's a Stories Untold VHS tape here. The only video they have, some horror compilation. Trash. You only caught a glimpse of the room. You guess that's why there is no detail here. Oh. Okay. So we're exploring our memory. And that's why some things are blurry. I feel like as I keep going, I'm like, should I go back and go in the interview room again? So I'm going to. They're all locked. Sometimes they make you watch your past sessions to see what really happened. Dr. Alexander is always watching remotely. I don't know if anyone else is ever with him. All of your episodes were recorded to tape. This is the fourth. Remember if I tried this door. No other door never opened. You don't know what was in here. The waiting area is dark, but you feel a presence right behind you. Someone breathes on your neck, standing over you. More locked doors, like you can't go somewhere you've never been. Locked. Feel dread in the pit of your stomach.
Okay, we have a 22-year-old male just brought in from a vehicle collision. He was awake and mobile at the scene, but collapsed on arrival to the emergency ward. The other passengers died in the accident. I'm getting no pulse. Prepare for defib. Amp charge full to 10 and give me 100 joules. Come on, 100 joules. Charge amp full to 10. Come on.
I'm trying to remember how this works. Amp to 10.
Can we get this on the screen, please?
Oh, he said, can we get this on the screen, please?
I can't see what I'm doing. Get this on the screen now.
So when we did the second episode, this green button would eventually light up when everything was set up correctly.
I can't see what I'm doing. Get this on the screen now.
Not sure what I'm missing here. Should this not actually be on? Oh, the camera's not on. Is that the problem?
I can't see what I'm doing. Get this on the screen now.
Ah, okay.
Clear. No reaction from first stage. Let's try higher. 200 joules. Keep the amp charged at 10. 200 joules. Keep the charge at 10. Let's go. Clear. Okay, we have a reaction of some sort here, a weak signal. Let's keep going. Increase again. 360, charge full. Come on, 360, hurry. Clear. Well, would you look at that? It seems we have a pulse. Rhythm is stable. We need to run an X-ray right away. Where are we with that X-ray? Let's get it going now, please.
What am I missing?
Where are we with that X-ray? Let's get it going now, please.
Obviously, the screen needs to be on X-ray. It says awaiting X-ray data. I can't. I feel like this would have been easier
Let's get it going now, please.
if it hadn't have been a week since I last played this.
Where are we with that X-ray? Let's get it going now, please. X-ray. Let's get it going now, please.
Oh, did I forget to turn something off? Okay.
Looks like an intracerebral hemorrhage. We need to drain this now to relieve pressure. Prepare for trepanation. Switch on a drill, please. The drill, please. Mr. Asian, you've made excellent progress. You're doing great. We need you to stay calm and try to relax while we go through these next steps. We're going to attempt to alleviate some of this discomfort.
Yeah, me too. Not only is tonight New Year's Eve, but tomorrow you leave on a 6-month trip abroad with friends. Mom, Dad, and your sister Jennifer have decided to throw a party to celebrate it all. The house is full. You're in the living room, and as usual, you don't recognize a soul. Video games will never betray us. I kind of feel like this one might. Look around. The room is full of chatty strangers, mostly friends of Mom and Dad. There is a door to the hall. Talk to friends. You exchange pleasantries, nod and smile, nod and smile. Go. There's a door to the hall. Okay. Go to the hallway. You push through the crowd into the hallway. The hallway is as welcoming as ever, only this time the folks have put a great big banner up across the main wall. Half-finished drinks are abandoned on almost every horizontal surface. Stairs lead up, although the party is firmly downstairs. Okay, I wasn't 100% sure first, but this definitely seems like the same house. Seeing how they adapted this for console. On the PC you have to type each command. Yeah, I kind of wanted to play it on PC or Mac because of that. Just like to kind of get like the authentic experience, I guess. But I didn't have an easy way to stream it that way. I think the Mac version is not compatible with the Mac I use for streaming was the issue. And then I installed Windows on here, but I don't have Windows set up for streaming, so I figured I'd try this, and it is really interesting to see how they did the controls on here. I think it's pretty good, and like I feel like it's easy if you're doing this kind of interface to end up in a situation where the options you can choose kind of give you hints at what to do, but I feel like they did a pretty good job of avoiding that. Like, there's enough options, and like new ones appear as you look at things, so it feels fairly natural, and I feel like if I was typing in general, I would be typing the same things I'm choosing here. Look around. Same as ever. Stairs, door to the living room, and door to the kitchen. Let's go to the kitchen. They say all the best parties are in the kitchen. The kitchen is full of people and loud. There are drinks and food on the table, and the party is in full swing. Dad has cooked a hot roast, which sits proudly on the table, although no one is eating it. Also, text-based adventure games seem less familiar to many new gamers. Yeah, for sure. Look around. There's a utility room and writing on the wall. Also, Jen is here signaling you. I'm gonna look at the roast. It looks great. Let's look at Jen. Your sister is calling you over to talk. Well, let's talk to Jen. She's too far away and the room is too loud. Okay, can we go to Jen? You push through, apologizing over and over to get to Jennifer. You hug, you're going to miss each other. You thank her for the party. She asks if you are enjoying the party. Also, apologies if it sounds like I'm reading fast. Last week, there were occasional times when there would be a bunch of text that appeared and it would suddenly go away before I was done reading, so I'm trying to read everything quickly before that happens. Sure. Yes. You tell her it's great, even though you don't really know anyone. She tells you to enjoy it anyway and to loosen up. She asks you to get her a drink. Look at the drink. She speaks up over the din, asking you to get her a drink. Okay, pour drink. You pour Jen a drink and one for yourself too. There's never an awkward silence with Jennifer. She always has a question. She asks if you have everything sorted for the big trip. Probably not. We'll say no. You tell her no, that as usual, everything is last minute. Another hug. Your family have really gone out of their way to make this trip happen for you. It might be what you need to get some perspective and maybe not fuck up so much. She's going to miss you. You are going to miss her. She walks away. Jen has disappeared into the crowd. You're left standing, nodding and smiling at the approving faces. There is so much to do for this move. Can't mess it up. But first, a drink. I feel like given the context I shouldn't be drinking, but also I wonder if I have to. This is where the utility room was with the red X on it. Look at the utility room. The utility room door is unlocked. That's odd. Go to the utility room. You open the door and peer in. You're never allowed in here normally. This is where Dad keeps his fine wines and whiskeys. Ceiling to floor racks, a collector, although he does actually drink them too. There is a bottle with a ribbon around it and a card. Look at the bottle. It's a gift from Dad, I think. There is a card next to it. Look at the card. You pick up the whiskey and the card. It's your dad's handwriting. Son, we're so proud of you and everything you've achieved. You've earned this. It's a bottle of 25-year-old double malt. You shouldn't really, but you have to try it. With your whiskey in hand, you take in the room around about you. There must be hundreds, no thousands of pounds worth of drink in here. You really must thank your dad for the whiskey. Look at the racks. Some seriously expensive old wines. Proper something tastes. Let's go back to the kitchen. You head back into the kitchen, clutching your new best friend. You stumble out of the utility room and back into the kitchen. That one is one strong whiskey. You take another swig and give the thumbs up to Dad across the room. He nods and winks. Go to Dad. Let's look at Dad. He's young looking for his age. Hopefully you'll have the same luck. Can we talk to Dad? He tells you he was proud of you and to go easy tonight. Early flight tomorrow. Can we talk to Mom? She's in the other room, singing your praises. Okay, let's go to the hallway. You go back out to the hallway. A few bumps and laughs on the way through, and you make it to the hall. You stop dead in your tracks. It's Jen, covered in blood. Talk to Jen. She's staring straight at you. No one else notices. Look at Jen. Blood is dripping down her face. It's mixing with tears. Help Jen. I'm sorry, I don't understand. Look around. I'm sorry, I don't understand. Talk to Jen. I'm sorry, I don't understand. Help Jen. Help Jen.
I'm sorry, I don't understand.
We tried our best, Mrs. Asian, but her injuries were too severe.
No, I don't understand. I was just talking to her.
I'm afraid Jennifer passed away before we could get to her in surgery. We did the best we could. I'm so sorry.
Where is she? Let me see her.
Please, Mrs. Asian, take a seat.
I don't want to take a seat. Let me talk to her. Now.
I'll arrange for you to see her. In the meantime, James is in recovery. He's stable for now.
I don't want to see him.
You're standing in the hallway. Something had stopped you in your tracks. While searching your mind, your sister interrupts. She waves her hand in front of you and asks if you can drive her home. You still feel out of sorts. Those words echo. I am going to pause for a quick little break because I need some water because of all this reading. I'll be back in just a minute. Okay. Back and hydrated. I can't quite say I'm ready to continue, but continue we shall. She waves your hand in front of you and asks if you can drive her home. You still feel out of sorts. Those words echo. Talk to Jen? Yeah, we can talk in the car. Go get your keys. Where are my keys? Upstairs? You'd love to call it a night, but Jen is waiting patiently. Okay, where are my keys? Look. Can I look for my keys? You need to look for them. They must be either in the kitchen or the living room. Okay. Let's go in the living room since we haven't been there. You're sure your keys are in the living room? The living room has a much more relaxed atmosphere compared to the kitchen. Various guests are sat on the chairs having civilized conversations. There's a coffee table in the middle of the room. Your mom is pouring a drink at the drink cabinet. Let's talk to Mom. Tears immediately start to appear in her eyes. My son, off to America. She gives you a hug. Look around. A coffee table, a drinks cabinet. One of the chairs is overflowing with jackets and coats. Let's look at the coffee table. Drinks on coasters like proper civilized people. You can't see your keys. Okay? Let's look at the cabinet. Your mom's collection of wines and spirits. Definitely no keys in here. Let's look at the couch. Friends in conversation, jackets and coats everywhere. Right, there was... Look at the jackets. You search through all the jackets and coats until you find yours. Aha! Car keys in the pocket. You grab both. Back to the hallway. Keys in hand, you head back to the hall. Jen thanks you for helping her out. She has work in the morning and no one else is in any fit state to drive. You can handle it though. You know the road like the back of your hand, don't you? Talk to Jen. She thanks you for taking her home, even if it has taken you ages to find your keys. Go outside. You open the front door and walk out into the freezing night. The cold air hits you. You are glad you have your jacket with you. There is a dusting of snow around as you step down from the porch. The yard extends around the back of the house, and the car sits at the front of the house. Let's look around. Crisp snow, cold air, and dark. Let's get this over with. Let's go to the car. You fumble with the car handle, confused, until Jen tells you maybe use the keys in your hand. Okay. Use the keys. Fumbling with the car keys, you eventually get the door open and climb inside. The car is freezing. As you fumble around with your seatbelt, your sister opens up the car glove box and hands you a note and a key that was inside. She tells you that it's for when you return. Use keys. Takes a number of attempts, but you eventually slot the key into the ignition. Turn keys. You turn the key in the ignition and the car roars to life. I was just noticing the clock in this room has always been on 22:05, and I think that was the time of the accident from the police report. Drive car. The car squeals but stays stationary. Jen suggests releasing the brake, giving you a wide-eyed stare. Use brake. You very hesitantly release the handbrake. Drive the car. You put the car in gear and pull out the driveway like a first-time driver. You really shouldn't be driving. I am driving, very drunk on the road towards the town where your sister stays. Jen started dozing off as soon as the journey gets going. It shouldn't take long. You come to a junction. Is it left or right? You can't remember. Go right. You don't want to, but you had better ask Jen for directions. Talk to Jen. She grunts and throws her arm to the left. It's left, of course it's left. Go left. You turn the car left at the junction and accelerate off. Confident that you're on the right road now, you loosen up and put your foot down on the accelerator. You feel powerful as the engine roars at your command. Jen sits up in her chair and clutches your arm. She asks you to slow down. Use brake. That's not what really happened, though, is it?
You're all over the place, James. Pull over.
Jen is hitting your arm and yelling at you. Crazy sister. Strange, there is a set of headlights coming directly at you, but really slow, like slow motion. Go. Use brake. You try to react, but your body isn't responding. There's nothing you can do to stop this. There's nobody to control it. The lights merge with your car. The outside joins the
James,
inside. The whole world
pull over.
around you begins to scream.
It was at this very moment, wasn't it, James? The moment you lost it all. Your sister, your parents, yourself. And then you made it worse. Go on. Show us what you did.
You wake up in the car. Your world is upside down. Your seatbelt struggles against gravity, trying to hold you in your seat. An impact into another car has torn a hole in the chassis. Poisonous fumes spill into your car from the engines. You're in grave danger. You have to get out of here. Use car door. You can't move. Your seatbelt is still in place. Use seatbelt. You release yourself from the seat. Gravity takes over as you slump onto the roof of the car. Use car door. You squeeze through the wreckage and fall to your knees on the ground next to your vehicle. Every breath brings pain to your chest. Your head is throbbing. A blue car is smashed into the passenger side of your car. Your life cannot be ruined by this. You are standing holding your whiskey and your dad's note, and flashing lights are approaching at a distance. Look around. A crash site. Smoke billows from the crashed cars to the sky above. Exterior lights flicking on and off. Look at your car. There is no going home in this. The symbols and writing on the car are barely visible anymore. Look at the other car. The hazard lights are blinking and fumes are rising from the engine. Through the smashed windows, you can see the motionless driver. Go to the other car. The door is jammed. You don't have time for messing around with this, James. Like, it seems clear to me from the police report that he plants the whiskey in this other car, so I assume that's what we have to do. With the lights approaching closer, you begin to hear the shrill of their sirens. You simply cannot go to jail for this. You clean the bottle and remove your connection with the whiskey. You then very deliberately spill the remainder of the bottle's contents onto the driver, and you toss the incriminating evidence onto his passenger seat. A circle of flashing lights surrounds you, illuminating the crash site in the darkness. Behind them, an army of people, all staring. One figure steps out, a silhouette, and walks towards you. Look at the figure. So this is just like the spaceship crash in the second episode. Look at the figure. The silhouette is a police officer and in uniform. He beckons you to approach. Go to the figure. As you approach the man, the pulsating lights around you get dimmer and dimmer while the pain in your head increases. You fall to the ground at his feet.
I know you're tearing yourself apart over it, but no matter what you keep telling yourself, you have to listen to me. That accident, that poor man, me. You have to remember. It was all your fault. You did. How you left me there to protect yourself. Planting evidence on some poor man. You went head first into that officer and you wrecked all of our lives. And you couldn't even take responsibility. You did the right thing for you and no one else. Save yourself. Only it was wrong, wasn't it? Look at you now. Utterly consumed by it. Say it, James. Say it. Tell them. Listen to yourself.
It has to end, James. Do you not understand? This episode you're having must come to an end. Make it stop, make it stop. You remember?
Dr. Alexander is always watching remotely. I don't know if anyone else is able to. Oh, okay. I was
Stop the session, Mr. Asian. Well, I think we've made progress today, Mr. Asian. I guess we should tell the police what you've told us. Although I don't suspect they'll take you anywhere. I think you'll be with us for quite some time. Come on, let's get you back to your shows. I'll see you tomorrow.
That was really good. After those last couple episodes last week, that was not the direction I expected this to go in. But that's really good. Mixed feelings about the ending, but the parts are enjoyable. Sure, that's fair. Yeah, definitely that third episode, like, the gameplay in that was really cool. Especially. Like, all of them, the gameplay was interesting, but that one in particular. I was thinking at the very end, we picked up those kind of old-timey keys at some point, and we never found a use for them. But I can't imagine what we would have used them for. Were they just like, was that a reference? Were those the house keys? That could be. I was also thinking how there's I know there's some trophies I didn't get. I'm not going to try to get them right now, but I might try to do that on my own time at some point. Just because I'm very curious what little bits I might have missed. So, Holly's playing her werewolf game, and this is much earlier than I normally end, so I think we're going to play something completely different. And I'm going to take a quick break and set up for that, and I will be back in a few minutes.